Welcome back to the You Want Pizzazz channel. I know it's been a while, 1 month to be exact. I apologize, it's been a very busy time, but I am back with a pretty exciting tutorial. Today you're going to be learning how to create this awesome Star Wars intro in After Effects. So let's dive right into it. Go ahead and open up After Effects. Now we're going to start off by creating a 1920 by 1080 composition, which is the typical size of a video. I'm going to leave the duration at 1 minute, but you can make it however long you want. All right, and press OK. Before we dive into this tutorial, I want you to download the assets below. I have a Starry Night background and the Star Wars font, so make sure to check the description for that. We all know how the Star Wars intro starts. A long time ago in a galaxy far away in blue font. So let's start with that. We're gonna go over to the type tool here. And then I'm just gonna set my font to Arial regular. And then I'm gonna change this to a blue. I actually have a specific blue that I'm gonna be using. I'm just gonna copy and paste the color code here. I'll also put this in the description as well. Press OK. And then I'm gonna just click on the center of the screen and type in my text. And then I think it's 4 dots here. Perfect. And then just bring it up. I'm going to change the spacing between the lines here. So just play around with it until you're happy with it. I believe it's left justified, although you can change those settings in the paragraph settings. And then in order to center it, what I like to do is just make sure that the text is highlighted and then hold down Command and then double click the anchor point tool to center the anchor point. For PC users, that is holding down Control and double clicking the anchor point. And then I'm going to align the text just like that. Perfect. So we're just going to add a slow dissolve in, dissolve out. We can do that by selecting the layer, hitting T on my keyboard, and then making some keyframes on the opacity. So we're going to start here at 0. And then at about 2 seconds, we're gonna change it to 100. See how that looks. It's a little too slow. I'm just gonna drag this in. So we're gonna keep that short. So I'm just gonna copy this second keyframe by hitting Command C and Command V on my keyboard. For PC users, that is Control C, Control V. Then I'm gonna copy this last one. So it'll last about 4 seconds here. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to start creating our starry background. We're going to start with a black solid. So right click in your composition, go to New, Solid, and then it'll just start you on a black solid, press OK. I'm going to just hit Command Shift D to make a cut. For PC users, that is Control Shift D. And then I'm going to go ahead and drag my Starry Night background on top like this. Perfect. Now you can see that there's hints of blue in this background. It's up to you, but I'm pretty sure that the regular background is just black and white. So we can easily fix that by going into Effects and Presets and then just searching up black and white in color correction, making sure that the layer is selected and double clicking it to apply. So bada bing, bada boom, easy black and white. Also, I'm not sure that the sky is that prominent, so I'm gonna just hit T on my keyboard and just bring down the opacity a bit. About 50% is good. Just to make things easier, I'm going to just pre-comp these 2 background layers into 1 layer. So you can do that by holding down Shift and just selecting both layers. Right click, pre-compose, and then I'm gonna call this Star Wars background and press OK. So we're gonna have this fade in as well. So I'm gonna hit T on my keyboard, make a keyframe at the beginning, change it to 0, and just have it fade in. Then I'm just gonna highlight the keyframes, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Okay, so this next part is the Star Wars logo that comes in pretty fast. In the description, you will have downloaded a Star Wars font, so make sure to install that font before we start this next part. And I'm going to just click my text tool Click on the center of the screen here, and then just type in my text. You can probably use the Star Wars logo at this point, but I wanted to be a little more creative and make it "You Want Pizzazz Presents." I'm gonna highlight the text, and then we're gonna search for Star Jedi, which is the font. Oh, one thing you should know is that if you use capital letters, for some reason, it just turns out funky like this. So I think you have to do everything in lowercase. So sorry about that in advance, but it seems like when you do things in lowercase, it looks okay. I'm gonna highlight the text, and then we are going to grab a yellow color code. So I'm gonna just click this box here, then paste the yellow. Again, I'm gonna put this in the description so you can copy and paste. Press OK. And then we are actually going to make this an outline text as opposed to a filled text. So you can do that by just swapping the colors here and then bringing up the stroke value. So we're gonna have to play around with this later, but just keep that in mind here. I'm gonna bring the text up and we're gonna make it as big as it can be. That will fit the screen here. So just adjust the stroke and the size accordingly. We're gonna center it on screen by centering the anchor point again and then aligning. So I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna go into paragraph and just center it like that. So I think it'll look better actually if I just remove this space here. Bring out the spacing between the letters a bit. Okay, so something like that is good. So play around with it until you're happy with it. And then once you're happy with it, we're gonna center it on screen again. And we're gonna just have it come in really fast. So we're gonna open up our scale keyframes by hitting S on our keyboard. And we're gonna start off really big, just like that. Make a keyframe and bring her to about 12 frames. And then we're gonna set it to 0. So let's see how that looks. Now you can make this faster or slower. All you have to do is pull the keyframes apart or closer together, but I think I'm happy with that speed here. We're gonna add some opacity keyframes by hitting T on our keyboard. So I'm gonna start here, then make that first keyframe 0. So it'll just do a little fade in here. And then we're gonna have it fade out at the end. Okay, cool. So we got that first part. Now we need to add the scrolling text. So this is actually not as hard as you think it's gonna be. We're gonna start by just deselecting everything, and then we're gonna go to our text tool. So instead of just clicking on the screen here, we're gonna click and drag to make a little box. Now this contains the text in the box so that it kind of has that nice justified look. I'm going to just change the text to an Arial, bring down the size here, and then just set the distance between the letters to 0. We're gonna have to mess around with this later, but I'm just trying to make this not look so weird when we copy and paste our text. But I have my text here in another document, and I'm just gonna copy and paste it here. So we obviously need to make some adjustments. I'm going to hit Command A to highlight all the text, and it looks like our stroke is still on. So we want to turn that off by just clicking this arrow here, just like that. Nice. Select the layer and hit P to kind of adjust the positioning. So we're pretty good like this. Obviously mess around with the settings to make sure you're happy with it. So a few adjustments here. I'm just going to click and select the text. We're going to go into paragraphs, and I'm going to just click this justify left. And then we can make the text, you know, wider or smaller, just like this. So just play around with it until you're happy with it. Again, once you're happy with it, we're going to center it on screen by just holding down Command, double clicking this anchor point, and then centering it on screen. Amazing. So now we need to add a bit of 3D rotation, and we can easily do that by just clicking this little 3D box. If you don't see this box, make sure to toggle the modes here so that you can see the box. So we're gonna click it. And then if your rotation keyframes don't pop up like that, you can just hit R to just show your rotation keyframes. Then we're going to change the X value. We want it to be dramatic, but like not too dramatic. So I think -55 is good. We're gonna hit S on our keyboard to adjust the scale, and we're just gonna bring it up so that it kind of fills most of the screen here. And then once we're happy with that, we're gonna hit A to activate our anchor point. So this is actually how we're gonna animate the text. Just like that. So select that middle keyframe and we're gonna just bring it all the way to the bottom here. Just like that. Perfect, until you don't see that text anymore. And then we have to kind of decide where we want to start. I think around here is good. We're gonna make a keyframe on the anchor point. And then we're gonna drag it out. I think mine is probably gonna last about 40 seconds. So I'm just gonna move my cursor to here and then just bring this up just like that. I'm just gonna have it disappear at the top of the screen. So I think that's a pretty good pace. That might even be a little too fast. So if that's too fast, you can obviously drag it out. That's pretty much it, folks. I mean, we obviously cannot use the Star Wars music because YouTube will not be happy with me. They really will not. So obviously find your own music, but you want it to start pretty much when this logo pops in. That's when it's like, bam, music time. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your video. And yeah, we did it. Good job, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe to the You Want Pizzazz channel for more videos. I hope you have a fantastic day, folks, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.